thought is to create value for both sets of shareholders, that is for shareholders of Grasim and for Nuvo. What is a happy coincidence is that some of the group cross-holding gets undone, but that obviously is not the primary reason for this large restructuring exercise. We believe that both sets of shareholders stand to gain, that the new company that is being formed, let's call it New Grasim, has a presence in so many sectors that represent India, that represent the India growth story. So if you believe in the India growth story, there is no way that you can not have this company on your radar. It's got a very interesting mix of manufacturing businesses, service businesses, businesses that are generating cash, some businesses that require the cash to grow. So I think it's really all of that put together. The fact that we believe that it creates value for both sets of shareholders. It also lists the financial services entity of the group and gives both sets of shareholders direct holding in that company, which we believe is hugely value accreting.
But Mr. Birla, why now? I mean, is it also because that the financial services business has reached a stage where it can take off?
So that's one of the important planks for this transaction. If you look at it over the past few years, we've spun off Carbon Black from Nuvo, we've spun off the fashion business, which is now a listed company by itself. And financial services is a business that we have nurtured over the last 20 years. It's now reached a critical mass where we believe that it's an opportune time to get listed. The new company will also give it the firepower that is required in terms of the funding capability to grow the businesses for which we have pretty large ambitions.
But Mr. Birla, is it a sheer coincidence that it comes at a time when Idea also needs a strong financial support? And today, with this combine, would be in a much better position to support Idea at a time when competition is just heating up with the coming in of RelJio.
So I think this notion that all of this is being done just to fund Idea is a complete misnomer. I think that these are apprehensions that are completely misplaced. So just to put things in perspective, in the last 10 years, Idea has spent about 16,000 crores and promoter funding has actually been almost zero. So Idea has used its own balance sheet. It's raised funding through QIPs. It's raised funding through infusion of equity from a financial investor, from a strategic investor. So to assume that all of this is being done just to fund Idea, I think is a bit preposterous, if I can say that. Idea has its own plans. It's got its own balance sheet on the strength of which it would make its own financing decisions.
And going by the reaction of shareholders in the last couple of days, I mean, one get a feeling that maybe some feel that Nuvo gets a raw deal with the financial services business getting spun out at a time when it's a prized business for the company. And also for Grasim, it has to deal with more funding for Idea. That's the notion which is responsible for the way the stocks have reacted in the last couple of days.
So unfortunately, what got reported in the media is very different from what the transaction actually is as we've announced it today. So obviously the market was reacting to news that was factually incorrect. And I believe that the stocks will change their trajectory from tomorrow onwards because there's every reason for them to do that.
Mr. Birla, you had two options. Either merge AB Nuvo with Grasim, then demerge the financial services business, or you first take out the financial services business from Nuvo and then merge the two companies. But you chose the former. Is there any particular reason why it was structured this way?
Yes, so the reason is that in this new structure, the financial services business will have a very strong parentage in the new Grasim, which will provide it with the funding capability that is required to grow the business.
And financial services, you said, will get listed very soon. Now, what's the timeline that you are looking at, and what about getting in a financial partner there? Because this will be one of your big drivers going forward. Also, I would also want to know more about how you're looking to shore up the financial services business, payments, bank, insurance, AMC. It's a huge basket.
So, inherent in this whole restructuring package is the fact that the financial services business gets listed. We expect that that will happen sometime by May or June of 2017 at the very latest. Every business of the financial services group practically has very ambitious growth plans, simply because they've now got a fairly substantial track record in those businesses. Several of those businesses, if not all of them, have the businesses inherently are high growth businesses. And I think this package, like I said, one of the primary planks, not the only primary plank, but one of the planks has been to grow the financial services business more aggressively.
And when will the next step be? Getting a financial investor on board?
Getting a financial investor is something that we are very happy to do. But like I said, we are not compelled to do it right as of now. I think the funding capability exists. Having said that, if we get a financial investor who comes in and adds value, then I think that the use of that funding is to grow the business with the entry of a private player.
And Mr. Birla, what about the next step? By when can we expect a financial investor on board?
So I can't give you a timeline. I can't even say that we will surely get a financial investor. It depends on so many things. Valuation is an important piece. But having said that, the idea of getting an investor would be to further grow the business. So this structure actually gives us a cleaner profile of the company to be able to do that.
Grasim will have a very interesting mix of manufacturing, services. Are you happy with the kind of mix that the company will have, or do you think it will evolve over the next few years?
I think it's a very interesting mix. Like I said, it's a play on the India growth story. So if you believe in the Indian economy, there's no way that you can't have this company on your radar, like I was saying just a while ago. We've thought this through very carefully. You've got businesses that are throwing up cash, some that require cash. So like I said, it's a play on the Indian economy as it is today and as it looks going out into the future.
But Mr. Birla, when it comes to the Indian market, holding companies always trade at a discount. That's something that we have seen across sectors. Although the new Grasim will also be an operating company, but it will largely remain a holding company in many ways. So isn't that a bit of a concern?
So even today, Grasim and Nuvo both have or suffer a holding company discount. So I don't think that this transaction per se actually exacerbates the issue. It's creating a much larger behemoth. It's creating a company with a top line of about $9 billion, EBITDA of about $2 billion. So it actually gives it much more financial strength to pursue its own plans.
And Mr. Birla, if I could ask you, how long did the process take from the time you conceptualized the merger? What was the road like?
So this has been in the works, so to speak, for the last 2 years. We've been toying with the idea. But these things always seem to just fall in place. And it just seemed like the most opportune time. If you ask me specifically why now, I can't give you a very sharp answer. But it seemed like an appropriate thing to do at this point in time.
And what are the kind of clearances that the merger will require to become effective?
So it would require the normal clearances, say from SEBI, from the stock exchanges, from the high courts of both Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Nothing that's out of the ordinary.
And that process takes how long?
So we target to list, or to rather complete this whole exercise by the end of this financial year.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.